I've been holding on to this story for a long time. It happened back when I was in college, but I'm in my 30s now, just for context. I'm not going to use real names or exact details, because even today, I'm not fully sure what parts of that place were official and what parts were something else entirely. In my region, there was an old railway settlement on the edge of the forest. From what I've read online later, it was active during the British era and even used for a short time after independence. It wasn't just a station, it had a full residential colony. Staff quarters, storage sheds, a small clinic, even a school building. At its peak, hundreds of railway workers and their families lived there. People said it was shut down suddenly in the late 90s after a series of accidents on that line. After that, everything was simply left behind. No demolition, no maintenance, just abandonment. Over time, nature took over, and the forest slowly swallowed the tracks and buildings. Growing up, everyone in nearby towns knew about it. It had a reputation. Some said trains still passed through at night without stopping. Others claimed they saw lights in the empty school windows. There were even stories about a ghost signal that would turn green for no reason, even though the line was officially dead. When I was in school, my cousin once told me he had actually gone near the place with his friends. We didn't believe him at first. He described the rusted railway gate, half buried in vines, and the station board still hanging, but with the letters almost erased. He said the strangest part wasn't what he saw, but what he heard. A faint announcement sound, like an old station speaker crackling to life, calling out trains that didn't exist anymore. We laughed it off at the time. But that story stuck in our heads longer than we admitted. For years, me and my friends talked about going there. It became one of those "we'll do it someday" plans. Once we got bikes, once we were older, once we had enough courage. But there were two problems. First, nobody really knew the exact path after the main road ended. The forest had changed everything. Second, even the locals avoided talking about it seriously. Whenever we brought it up, they would either change the topic or just say, "Don't go there at night." In our final year of college, one of my friends, let's call him R, came to us with something different. He said he had found the old service road that led directly toward the station. He claimed his uncle, who worked in forestry, had shown him a map years ago. At first, we thought he was exaggerating again. But one night, around 10:30 p.m., he insisted we try. Not in daylight. He said it wouldn't feel the same in daylight. That should have been enough to say no, but curiosity always wins over logic when you're young. We rode out on two bikes, headlights cutting through empty roads. The town slowly disappeared behind us, replaced by long stretches of silence and trees leaning over the path like they were watching. R kept pointing ahead, uncertain. "I think it's here." "Maybe here," he kept saying. Every wrong turn made the air feel heavier. Eventually, we stopped where the road simply ended. No sign, no fence, just dense forest and an old broken concrete pole that might have once held a railway sign. R got down first. He said, almost whispering, "This is it." We parked the bikes and stepped in. The moment we entered the forest, everything changed. The sound of insects faded strangely, like someone had turned down the volume of the world. Even our footsteps felt wrong, too soft, too swallowed. After walking maybe 15 minutes, we started noticing straight metal poles aligned in a row, then broken sleepers. Then finally, the tracks, half buried, but still there. And then we saw the station. It wasn't completely destroyed like we expected. It was waiting. The building stood there with its roof intact, windows dark but not broken. The signboard still hung above the entrance, barely readable. And just as we stood there, trying to decide whether to go closer, a faint crackle came from inside the station speaker system, followed by a voice, not clear, not fully formed, but it was calling a train number that shouldn't have existed anymore. When I was in middle school, my family moved into a new house on the outskirts of a small town. At that age, it felt like a huge upgrade. The house was bigger, the rooms had more space, and most importantly, the neighborhood was full of kids my age. For the first time, it actually felt like I had a proper group of friends right outside my door. Everything about that place felt perfect, except for one house. It was right next to ours. Old, slightly tilted, with a small front yard that was always kept too clean compared to everything around it. And the man who lived there was exactly the kind of neighbor everyone warns you about. Old, silent, and angry. We used to play outside every evening. Two-hand touch football, cycling races, random games that usually ended with someone arguing over nothing. But every time the ball even came close to that old man's side of the fence, things would change instantly. He would appear at his window, like he was already waiting there, start banging on the glass, screaming at us to stay away from his property. The weird part was, we never actually stepped inside his yard, not once. We were careful about it because, even as kids, we could feel how serious he was. But that didn't matter to him. In his mind, we were always too close. At first, we thought it was funny. Then it became annoying. After a while, it just became normal. Every day, same routine. Play, shout, run a little further away, and then hear him again from behind the glass. It went on like that for months, maybe 6 months, maybe more. He was always there, watching, reacting, like he never slept. And then one day, it stopped. No shouting, no banging, no shadow in the window. At first, we didn't even notice. It took a few days for it to feel strange. Then a week. Then it hit us. Something was wrong. I even remember one of us joking that maybe the old man finally died. It sounded funny at the time, just a dark joke to explain the silence. We didn't think much of it after that. Until one morning, a few weeks later, my friend Joel was staying over that night. We woke up very early, still dark outside, the kind of early where everything feels paused. There was an unusual noise coming from next door, not shouting this time, movement, voices, heavy footsteps. Then we saw lights flashing through the curtains, red and blue, police sirens. We got up and slowly went to the window. What we saw made both of us freeze. There were people outside the old man's house, paramedics, police officers. And then, right in front of us, they carried something out of the house, a zipped-up body bag. We didn't need anyone to explain it. I still remember the feeling that hit me right then. Not shock, but something heavier, like guilt. Like my brain suddenly replaying every time we had laughed about him dying. Later, we found out he had been dead inside the house for weeks, maybe longer. No one had checked in properly. He had a son, but he lived far away and hadn't visited in a long time. After that day, the house stayed empty. Not cleaned, not repaired, just left the way it was. And every time I passed by that place after school, I couldn't stop thinking that for months, we were shouting and laughing right next to a man who was already gone.